Yes, we are delighted because we start a new cycle. We have new players. So it's not a question of revenge regarding the World Cup. But the thing is, we start a new cycle towards the 2026 World Cup. This is it.
Yeah. And the new players are coming in, you know, they're making a difference. They made a difference today, especially with Jeremy linking up well with them. Yeah. And you caused the English a lot of defence problems today.
Yes, that's for sure, because that was our intention. Have a close and decisive game against England to show them we are still there, that the real champions are us.
You saw there was the big gap at half-time. Yeah. What did you say to the players at half-time?
No, what we did not understand was that Joe Coy did not field Jack Brown earlier in the game. So that's a key question. Everyone in the stand was asking the question. So the big gap, knowing that Jack was not playing yet, we were fearing the return, and that's what happened.
Is that something you want to work on for the game in Marseille?
The game in Marseille, we will try to maintain the same standard of firm and the strict defense, because we won because we were stricter in defense.
And a fantastic performance from Jeremy today.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you know, this time he has his brain in his head. Because
where was it last time?
Where was it last time?
Because during the World Cup final, most French players have left their brain in the dressing rooms. I tell you, that's my point of view.
Les vestiaires sans douche, ni WC, ni...
And the dressing rooms are without, just even here, there is nothing for the disabled. You know, we will have to go back to the hotel to have a normal shower for disabled people. And in Manchester Central, England and France had no dressing room with the showers and everything. You know, nothing was done on this. It was great outside, but behind the scene, poor.
Is that something that's going to be addressed in Marseille?
I think because it is the Palais des Sports, it is made for sport. You know, I don't know the place. I've never been in Marseille, but I think because it's a sport facility, it's made for. Here, it's not made for sport. It's just made for. Before everything, it's made for artists, show, music, and everything like that. You know, so they are not ready. But it's even better than in Manchester Central, where it was nothing. A lot of space, plenty of room, but nothing.
How was it hard working against a very partisan crowd today?
Very
hard partisan crowd. Was it? To silence them must have been very, very difficult to silence them.
Because of the crowd?
Yeah, the crowd was.
No, it's normal that the crowd is behind England, you know. So we don't mind. It's great having games like this today in such venues. It's great. You know, Wheelchair Rugby League has now gone one step further. Now we deserve big venues because the game we offer is great, just great. Maybe the greatest of all the disability sports team sports.
Have you seen the documentary Made of Steel?
Yes.
What did you think of it from a French perspective?
Oh, it's nice. You know, I can't have a word on documentary because it's a journalist production. But I think it's fair. They have tried to expose both philosophies. England is more on spectacle. We are more dedicated to respect all the scale regarding able-bodied, light amputees, for instance, and permanent wheelchair user. So we are on this. So we are very proud today to have won the game with one permanent wheelchair user all along the game. It was Arnaud or Lionel, but they were on the field. England, once again, same for the World Cup final, no permanent wheelchair user on the field. Sit on the bench.
Do you think the philosophies...
Shown on TV.
Do you think the philosophies will come together?
Say again?
Do you think those two different philosophies will start to come together?
I think Martin Coyd has make a step towards us. He's now thinking something about classification. But I think it's not us. It should not come from us. It should come from an ethics committee inside the International Rugby League. You know, it should be a political decision which kind of sport wheelchair rugby league should be. Made for these able-bodied and lightly disabled, or made for the whole lot, including permanent wheelchair users. This is the key question. We have decided, we French, that every game starting today until the World Cup 2026 will be played with a French player, permanent wheelchair user, all along the game. So that's why we'll always bring at least two, which was the case today. And we are ready to lose, but today we have shown we can win.
I feel bad, but Robert, you're here to translate. Any questions for the others? Jeremy, what was the difference between the two sides? Did you frustrating in the first half? Was that the key?
À ton avis, quelle est la différence entre les deux équipes aujourd'hui?
Je pense qu'on avait une grosse envie de gagner. On a été très dur en défense, on ne voulait rien lâcher. On n'a jamais lâché le match une seule fois. On a fait ce qu'il fallait pour gagner. On est monté de niveau progressivement tout le long du match. On a une petite baisse de régime sur la deuxième mi-temps, mais qu'on a su revenir. Et c'est ce qui nous fait gagner à la fin. Mais je pense que ça se joue surtout sur la défense. On a une très bonne défense agressive et on n'a rien voulu lâcher.
We were very strict in defense all along the game. For sure, at the beginning of the second half, we have a different production because England was at their best with Jack Brown. But we have maintained a strict defense all along the game. That's why we win. This is it. The difference today is on that position regarding defense, which is running game or wheelchair rugby league. Defense is the key.
How good was this French performance?
What?
How good was this French performance?
How good? Quel niveau de qualité est la performance française aujourd'hui?
Bonne, pour une équipe avec beaucoup de nouveaux joueurs, et une équipe qui a perdu Gilles et Nicolas Clausel, qui a perdu Dany, et un certain nombre de joueurs, et qui est en reconstruction. Ça prouve qu'il y a de très bons joueurs en France, et qu'on va pouvoir continuer à jouer.
We are quite pleased with that win. It's a good win, not only because it's a win, because we have won with new players, you know, great players just like Gilles Clausel, you've seen is now tag collector. His nephew Nicolas, who is a great player, is stopped. Dany Denouella is stopped as well. The three big names in the French team have stopped playing. And today we have brought in new players and we are able to win against world champions, and we start a new cycle, which is a good sign. The whole story is not written, but the first chapter is not bad.
Peut-être que Nicolas et Dany reviendront, mais en tout cas nous on avance.
Maybe it's not Gilles because he has done his time, you know. But Nicolas and Dany, maybe they will come back. Whatever they do, we go forward. We don't mind if they come back or not.
You've kicked all your penalties.
Yes.
And that was the difference in the end, because both teams scored 6 tries. Was that, again, out of respect to England, or is that just the way that you play?
Non. Il dit, vous avez marqué 6 essais, les Anglais aussi, et la différence se fait au coup de pied. Vous avez transformé tous vos coups de pied, ou presque, et c'est ce qui fait la différence. Est-ce que c'était prévu? Est-ce que ça a été fait pour tenir l'Angleterre à distance, etc.
Tous les points sont à prendre.
On n'était pas favoris.
On
n'était pas favoris, donc là en première mi-temps, on a pris tous les points qui se présentaient à nous. Des fois avec des mouvements, des fois avec des essais. Et oui, on a beaucoup d'humilité face à une équipe qui était exactement quasiment la même pour la finale.
Oui. At the beginning of the game, we were the challengers. We were playing with a new team, against an England team at their best, you know. So every point should be taken, and fortunately our kicker converted all the kicks, and just like you said, it made the difference in the end. 6 tries each, but you know.
On était là pour d'abord être en confiance et savoir que plus le match allait avancer, plus ils allaient peut-être douter, parce que eux aussi quand même pensaient que sans les deux Clausel, ça serait pas le même match.
Oui. Something interesting. At the beginning of the game, every situation where we could score points was to be taken and, you know, taken safe, which was done. Martin Cole said to us before the game that the French team without the Clausels, you know, Gilles and Nicolas, would not be the same French team. Maybe it was, I would not say arrogant, but you know, we are the same, you are not the same. So, but in the end, look at the scoreboard.
Sylvain, is there anything you want to work on for the game in 3 weeks' time? Like,
sorry, say again.
Is there anything you want to work on from today for the game in 3 weeks' time?
Qu'est-ce que tu penses qu'il faut travailler, vu sur le match d'aujourd'hui, par rapport au match de Marseille qui s'annonce?
Continuer à travailler, parce que le projet c'est 2026, et que tout le monde n'a pas la chance d'avoir une trentaine de sélections comme Lionel, qui a été très bon, ou comme Jack, qui a cette qualité-là. Tous les autres joueurs ont besoin de jouer des matchs internationaux, d'en manquer, comme peut-être Jérémy en a manqué l'année dernière. Et voilà, ils ont besoin de se construire, et peut-être que l'Angleterre gagnera à Marseille et qu'on sera à côté.
It's a new era, you know, it's a new cycle. We start with new players. Today we win. Maybe in Marseille, England will win. That's not the question. It's a new cycle because the real game to win is the one in 2026, the World Cup final. Possibly, once again, England versus France. But in the meantime, what about Australia? What about the States, the United States? They might be working on their side as well. So it's opened. But we work.
Can I ask why you decided to play for the next 3 years with one permanent wheelchair?
Why we've decided that?
It's to make a statement, is it? What is the reason for the decision?
Parce que on pense que ce sport a été créé d'abord pour eux. Et que dans l'évolution actuelle, à l'exemple de l'Angleterre, petit à petit on les exclut. Et ça me paraît pas possible. Un exemple concret, il y a eu un essai marqué par l'Angleterre en milieu de seconde mi-temps, où Arnaud Vargas est tombé. Et en fait, du fait de son handicap, il a quasiment aucune chance de se relever tout seul. Là où la plupart des valides arrivent à se relever tout seul. L'arbitre n'a absolument pas arrêté le jeu, c'est pas un problème. Mais pour moi, il aurait dû arrêter le jeu, pas parce que Arnaud avait fait une faute, mais juste parce qu'il était fauteuil permanent.
C'est ça. The question is, the game of wheelchair rugby league has been written down with the rules made for all the disabled, including the wheelchair permanent users. So we strictly maintain on the French view that the wheelchair permanent users should have an opportunity to reach the national team, you know. So one example in the game, one of the English tries was scored while our permanent wheelchair user was on the ground. He can't restore balance by himself. So we were 4 against 5 on the try line, and England obviously scored. So in that situation, knowing that it is a permanent wheelchair user that is stuck on the floor, should be stopped, restore balance, keep going. It should be a surrender tackle or something like that. But you have to respect the situation, or 6 again, or whatever,
maybe.
or whatever.
6 again, maybe.
But respect the situation of weakness. You know, this is the response. And obviously we know that it is not at the moment the English view. So we know that it should be discussed at international level, higher level, not in between people, but in between responsible people.
Qu'un arbitre n'arrête pas le match quand un valide tombe et qu'il n'y a aucun danger, ça me paraît tout à fait normal. Mais quand un fauteuil permanent tombe et ne peut pas se relever et qu'on doit jouer l'ensemble de la chaîne à 4, je trouve que c'est pas l'esprit.
This is one of the section of the game where we have a huge difference between the running game and the wheelchair game. In the running game, if a guy is on the floor and if he does not restore balance straight away, you can keep going. You know, attendance coming, it does not spoil the game. 1 out of 13, but 1 out of 5, and when it is the permanent wheelchair user on the floor, it's a different story. That's why we must pay attention to that. I don't know what would be the rule, but pay attention to the situation and clearly have a law done, written.
Sinon, moi, en tant qu'entraîneur, je vais prendre que des gens qui peuvent se relever seuls.
Ah oui, because if it's not regulated, we French, we will decide to have the same than in England. We will come with Jeremy, all players almost able-bodied, you know.
But you won't for the next 3 years because you said you won't.
No, we won't. But just imagine the rule.
Yeah.
The reason why we insist on this is not to impose our view, but to make people, the official people, you know, the elected people, think. They might decide the other way the French think. But if it's done that way, we will adapt our selection.
Just a question for Jeremy. How did he enjoy playing against Seb, and who did he think won that duel?
Yeah. Quel est ton comment tu apprécies de jouer contre Seb? Aujourd'hui ou
à l'entraînement.
Voilà. Ce que j'apprécie le plus, c'est tout simplement déjà le battre. Donc tout simplement. Mais c'est vrai que ça reste compliqué parce que moi et Sébastien on se connaît quasiment parfaitement. Voilà. On joue tous les entraînements en club, on joue en club à Dragon, à Halifax toute l'année. On sait très bien ce que l'autre va faire et le danger qu'il peut apporter. Voilà. Et le plus qu'il peut donner aussi à une équipe. Donc c'est très compliqué, mais on essaye d'envisager en fait tout le temps plusieurs opportunités pour essayer de contrer ça. Voilà. De contrer ce qui peut provoquer en danger de jeu.
Vous aurez de jolis souvenirs.
Voilà. Obviously, they know each other quite perfectly because they play for the Dragons, they play for Halifax. They can anticipate everything the other can do, but obviously his pleasure today is to win against Seb, you know. But Seb was the same for the World Cup because he's won against him, you know. But it's great because they progress together because they play together, they improve their standards, you know. So it's great. So if I can add something, it's an odd situation in wheelchair rugby league because players are involved in the same clubs in France and in England and they play against each other at international level. So it's a very odd situation because they are just like brothers, you know, brother in arms, but the best enemies.